Headbangers.
Welcome back to the Headbangers podcast, where your hosts Nathan and Brad. Today we're doing the February bangers, and I gotta say, Nathan, it's been a great month again.
Yes,
This is
yes.
this was even harder than January, to be honest, to compile my list. Um, so yeah, what are your thoughts on Feb?
It's been a really good month, to be fair. Been a really good one. A lot of interesting releases. It feels like everyone sort of decided, oh, February or March time just to fucking come out the gate.
Absolutely, yeah. There's been all across the board, different genres, lots of bands coming out with amazing tracks and albums. Why don't you kick us off with your first song, Nathan?
Mine's Cold Steel, Bad Beat.
Right off the hedges, on a mission to sink and diminish. 'Cause bodies all worn down, but they'll remember me.
And it's an absolute fucking banger. The sample in this is so well used. Like it's like I know what it does to you. It's the beat, the beat, the beat, and it just comes in. It's like fucking. Oh, it's so fucking good. Like the opening riff is such a moshable fucking riff.
Oh,
So
yeah, I
yeah,
gotta
it just
say,
fucking slaps.
it was a treat throughout. Like when when I slapped it on, I was like, "Well done, Nathan. You picked a very good one here."
Well, it
Like,
came to. I did cheat because it did come out at the end of January. So when we did
okay.
our January bangers, I wanted to put it in there, but it came out the day we did it. So I was like, I'm putting it
Oh,
on the February one. You know what I mean?
only because it was such a sick track, I'll allow it. But yeah, like
The
honestly,
entire EP is just as hard.
from start to finish of the song, like it was going hard. Like you've got some thrashy sections, you've got like the beat down that happens in like the middle of the song. I mean, just like you said, the opening riff is such a fucking curb stomper. Like Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah. Oh
Um,
wait. Well,
Really good.
it's. I was talking to him over Instagram on it actually.
No,
But
yeah.
yeah, I was talking to him over on Instagram over it on, and I was just saying like every single one of their songs just starts with an instant mosh bit. Do you know what I mean? Like they take let's go pit to pit to a whole new level. It's like no, let's go pit to pit to pit and then back to the pit. It's like it's just all the fucking everything's moshable, and then you've got some really good two step groove sections from them, which is really fun.
Absolutely, yeah. But I think it's the perfect embodiment of like modern hardcore, like exactly how it should sound. And there's not a single moment in the song that feels stale. Like it just goes hard throughout. So I'm definitely excited to check out more of their, EP and that. But yeah, fucking brilliant, brilliant song. It was like the first one, I listened to the ones you sent me, and I was like, all right, I'm checking these guys out tomorrow. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, they're really fucking good. They remind me a lot of Gridiron.
Yeah, I see
Remind me a
that.
lot of Gridiron. But they're really fucking good, man.
Yeah,
So
very
good.
very riff heavy, very riff heavy. So my first one is Dying Fetus and Bridal Fury. It's been a while since I've heard something from the Fetus camp. I don't think it's been since like Wrong One to Fuck With came out, and that was like 2017. But obviously, these guys are the goats. Like, they're respected across every single genre because they've just got it nailed down. Like, and I think they're one of those bands that can fit on any bill. But like this song starts out, the classic blast beats from Dying Fetus. But then there's that breakdown in the middle of the song. That's like one of the coolest breakdowns I've heard from them in years. They're just masters of the craft, man. Like,
oh yeah.
amazing band live, super tight and technical. But I think they've got something for everyone in there.
Can we address how you introduced that though?
Go on.
It's been a while since I've heard anything from the fetus camp. I'll
That needs
say
to
it
be
like
put on
that,
a
man.
no context quote, doesn't it, really?
Yeah,
Don't
Bradley
put me in the
Lightfoot.
register, please.
But it's been a while since I heard anything from the fetus camp.
They are replying to my emails. I've been fucking replying every night.
No, it's how you segued that. Been a while. But yeah, all right, back to the track. It is a fucking banger. Like we know what to expect from Fetus, to be fair.
Yeah, like
You can take that out of context as well. Yeah, we know what to expect from Fetus, to be fair. We know
yeah.
what to expect from Dying Fetus, to be fair. Like because like every single one of the tracks will come out, you know it's gonna be brutal, you know it's gonna be heavy, you know it's gonna slap you in the fucking face.
Absolutely. It's like it doesn't change the game. Like, you know what I mean? It's not nothing groundbreaking. Like, you know what to expect from Dying Fetus, but I think that's okay. Like, their formula is uniquely theirs. And it, it hits you in the face just like every other track does. And it's brilliant. Like the best thing about Dying Fetus is just how to be technical but still brutal and still, got some catchiness to it. And
Oh
they've
yeah.
just got that down to a T, which is brilliant.
There's always a lot of sections in like Dying Fetus's. I was gonna say Fetus's songs. There's a lot of sections in Dying Fetus's songs where you kind of go, "Oh, it's got a bit of groove though. It's got a bit of groove," and it's all the way out through this song as well. Where it's like you're like, "Oh, fucking hell! Oh, okay, it's got a bit of groove."
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of bands could try this, what they do, especially in the faster sections and just be riff solid. But I think the way that they do it keeps it melodic and keeps the harmonies in there. So, you know, it doesn't really fall away from that, which is nice. But yeah, honestly, great track from Dying Fetus. I hope that they're releasing an album soon. I haven't heard anything about that. Unless I've just been looking in the wrong places. But if they are, then super excited. Wrong one to fuck with us. Groundbreaking fucking album. So let's go.
Yeah. My next one is Scowl, Shot Down.
Gotta let go now. All of myself down. I'll shut you down.
Now, Scowl's like a band that's having like a bit of a minute. Like when they came out the recent album, like I think either in lockdown or like a year into lockdown or like following a year into lockdown. I can't remember the year. Would be easy for me to just fucking check, but I can't be asked. But yeah, they kind of popped off with that new album, and I feel like in this one, I've been seeing some mixed reviews from like hardcore Twitter. Like some people really like it, some people don't like the new style that they're sort of putting in. I like it because they're still like hard, they've still got hardcore in there, but I like the fact they're experimenting. This one's a little bit more poppy, but I like hearing like her actual like vocals. Do you know what I mean? Like her actual singing because she's got a very nice singing voice. And not only that, like I just think like it is like a really good step for them. Like that style fits them, fits their aesthetic. And it still keeps their roots going. Like they've still got that hardcore sound within it. So that, I really liked this track because I thought it reminded me like, yeah, it reminded me of the Pixies a little bit. Like a little bit,
Yeah.
like not. I'm not saying massively. So if any Pixies fans come at me going, "Sounds nothing like the Pixies," and I hope I don't have like another higher power. You sound like Faith No More moment where I look back on this and I go, "Sound not like him." But they kind of remind that this song kind of gives me a Pixie vibes.
Yeah, it's interesting that you sent me this one because I was like, I really recognize this band's name from somewhere, and I realized that I've seen them. I saw them when they were supporting Stick to Your Guns and Landmarks. And I remember I was at the back, I wasn't really paying attention, but I thought they had quite an interesting sound then. But yeah, like this is not your traditional hardcore from listening to it. In fact, I got the vibe that they've got some sort of like 70s rock influence in there, that sort of stoner
Yeah,
style. Like, in the mid sections, you start off with the hardcore, fast bits. But yeah, they've got like some nice choruses, and it's very reminiscent of like, I don't know, some like stoner rock. Some it's honestly quite interesting. I think like I respect them for trying to do something different because I don't think I've heard anyone sound like that before, or at
yeah.
least
I
like on that level.
That's what I think. I think it added like a new level to them because they are known for being a hardcore band and they do go off. And that's the thing. But like, I also feel like the people that are kind of going, "Oh, I'm not a massive fan," blah blah blah. It's like just let the band sort of like experiment. Do you know what I mean? This is why like it kind of sometimes it can get stale when it comes to music because it's like they don't have to be that one thing. And I like how they've just added like newer stuff into it. It works for them. Like you can't deny it does sound good.
It does really sound good. The thing is with hardcore as well, it's not the easiest genre to blend with other genres in itself. Like, it's quite difficult. You've got bands like, Code Orange and shit like that. But other genres of music are a lot easier to meld into different things. But this worked extremely well. And I didn't think you'd ever would have thought like hardcore and that style of like almost like rock and roll, works that well, but it does. So yeah, props to them. I think they should keep on doing that sound and, break out of being not generic, but what other bands are doing.
Yeah, definitely.
So my next one is not a band that I mentioned here before. And yes, they are metal. But yeah, I picked Fallen in Reverse, Watch the World Burn.
Control the monster any longer that's inside. The pain and sorrow left us all.
Now this one's been like popping off, on
This might
social
be a
media.
controversial one
It
as
is a
well.
controversial one,
A
but
hot take.
hear me out, hear me out. Um, so obviously, Fallen in Reverse have been around a long time now. They were sort of associated with, I guess, the emo sort of scene. But this song really blew me away. Like his rapping at the start of the song is actually fucking impressive. Like on the level of like what like I'd class as a proper rapper could do. And I'm always a bit iffy when it comes to rap metal because it comes across quite cringy. And yeah, okay, the Fall in Reverse lyrics can be a bit cringy, but I feel like that's their shtick. You know what I mean? They play into that. I mean, the music videos are always outrageous and out there. So it fits them really well. But like his rap, yeah, his rapping, like his speed, his bars are like actually pretty fucking decent. And then it leads into like the sort of metalcore, fast pace choruses when it builds into it. Like really well produced too. So I gotta say, I've got to take my hat off. It's a great song, and I think that people have slept on Fall in Reverse. And I think if you've sort of like wrote them off before, then definitely just give this song a shout and just come with an open mind because musically speaking, it might not be your thing, but you can't deny that it's a great, well constructed song.
Yeah. I mean, like, I listen to it, and, like, don't get me wrong, I get if you don't like Ronnie Radke. Like, he's not really, as a person, not really my cup of tea of a person at all.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I do think he's a bit of a dick. But, like, I mean, a bit is. But I've got to give it props. Like, the song is actually a pretty catchy, pretty well written song. A very interesting sort of mix because, like, it's weird. They've got rap, then they've got, like, at the end, they've got, like, straight up just, like, old school Fall in Reverse emo. And then they've got, like, him actually doing, like, almost metal, like a metalcore section.
Yeah.
It's really weird, but it's on paper sounds like it shouldn't go together. And I gotta admit, the song is catchy, and it will grip you.
Absolutely, yeah. I think it's a really interesting song. Great breakdown in the middle of it as well. I think they're sort of like making their own sounds, and I know that they are quite not embarrassed, but they look back on their older work and they know that it wasn't the best that they've done. So you can tell that there's true passion going into this, and I really hope to see more of his rapping skills in the next few songs that come up because I had no idea he could go that fast. Like it's generally impressive, and overall the production, like I said, is immense. Yeah, honestly, I think if you've written them off before, give them a shot, see what you think, because I think this is quite next level, to be honest.
My next one is Full of Hell. Trepidation of Future Joys. Not of Future Joys, for Future Joys. Now, this one's from their split EP that they did with Primitive Man. And honestly, I was kind of hoping this would come out because I always used to think, hey, Full of Hell and Primitive Man would make a really good split together. And we fucking got it because this is a fucking banger. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, it's the perfect mix of Full of Hell style and Primitive Man. Like, you could put it into any of each other's discography without it being a split and be like, yeah, this is a Full of Hell song. And you'd be like, yeah, that's definitely a Full of Hell song. Or this is a Primitive Man song. And you'd be like, yep, that's a Primitive Man song. It's genuinely such a banger. And like, I know, like it might be for some people, might be like, I don't know, because it does get like kind of avant-garde in some places where it's like kind of is just like random melding and noise. But like, I fucking love shit like that, where it's there like where it's really out the box sort of thinking. You can tell some like thoughts being put into it. It's the perfect mix of like both their styles, and it fucking flows really well. And if Full of Hell and Primitive Man just wanted to join, be one band, I'd be fucking okay with that because it sounds amazing.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like when he sent me, I had no idea that one that they were doing a split EP, and then like Primitive Man and Full of Hell, because they've both got very like dark sounds, you know what I mean? Like very abstract, I suppose. So I didn't think that they would go well together in a way. I do think that it was more Primitive Man sounding than it was Full of Hell because it's
Do you
like
think?
it didn't have. At least, to be fair, I'll be honest with you, mate. Like I saw like 9 minutes, and usually I'm all for a fucking 9 minute song, but today I was like, right, I'm on a bit of a short time here. I don't think I can fit in that 9 minutes. But I listened to about 3 minutes of it halfway through, and it was like very much at that point, Primitive Man, very slow, very doomy, very atmospheric with sort of like scratching and very dark, dismal sounds. I don't know if that was just the Primitive Man sort of section of it, and there was a faster section before. But it felt more like Primitive Man. But I do like that anyway, and I think they're one of the most interesting bands, and obviously Full of Hell, all credit to them, amazing band too. I think if you combine those two sort of dismal sounds, then that's what you get. But yeah,
Yeah,
honestly, really abstract.
that's a bit. I used to say, Dylan can back this up, but I said to Dylan once, "Oh, I really want to like do a band that sort of sounds like Full of Hell and Primitive Man. I think those two styles would gel together, and I really hope they have, like they do a split EP." Said that to him ages ago, right? And then they fucking did it. I saw it. I was there, like, I wasn't the only one thinking it.
You literally got what you asked for.
Yeah,
It's such a strange collaboration as well.
you could say I manifested it.
I think you did, to be honest.
Yeah. No,
But
but
yeah,
honestly,
really
I was
interesting.
like, this is fucking great. And I would recommend listening to the rest of it because like it is fucking good. Like that entire album's pretty good. Well, EP. Yeah, is it an EP? I'll have to check the runtime because it might actually be a fucking album.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm definitely down for it. Obviously, today I was a little bit of a short time limit, but yeah, I'm definitely down for that. But yeah, they've got like it's a very abstract song. You know what I mean? It's very dark, and I think it's really interesting what they're doing. And I
Definitely.
didn't expect that collab to happen, but I'm all happy for it, and I absolutely will check that out. So up for me next is I'm pretty sure people will know who they are, which is In Flames, with the song Foregone Part Two. So obviously, In Flames have always been that controversial band, and I always used to say, like with In Flames, like I've always heard of them, and I've only started checking them out like back end of last year, and they're such a popular band, but yeah, I never really knew anyone that actually listened to them. It's really weird.
Yeah, until you sent me your list, I've never listened to In Flames.
Yeah, literally. So for anyone that doesn't know, they used to be a death metal band back in the 90s. They made like I guess what people would call like one of the quintessential death metal albums for like mellow death. They've since like changed the sound and it's more sort of metalcore now. Say what you will. I actually prefer the metalcore sound that In Flames have gone for. I understand obviously how important the mellow death album was, but to me, I think they're much better as a metalcore band, and I think they've made more interesting sounds since then. But I'll say this about this album: I think it's a very good mix of all their styles, and I've seen like a lot of
Oh God, we're
people.
having another sleep token
I
moment.
know, can't be having that. But yeah, I've seen like a lot of people commenting saying like, this album feels like a return to form in a way. There's a lot of good riffage going on. This song in particular starts off with probably the best riff on the album. Melodic, but it's definitely got that Melodeath style riff. It doesn't sound like a metalcore riff. So I think in a way they've managed to meld those sounds quite well and produce something that's going to please a lot of people. Amazing chorus as well, catchy. But yeah, I've got no complaints about this. I've listened to this album quite a lot throughout the month and looking forward to seeing them in August.
Yeah. I got massive.
Sorry, mate, carry on.
No, you set me off. You set me off like last time. Um, I had like massive like early 2000 metalcore vibes from this song. Yeah, I mean, like I know they've gone for the but I had that literally. I was like, this kind of sounds like early metalcore.
Not because they
Yeah, I
were
mean,
one of those metalcore bands back in those
well, yeah,
days.
exactly. But like, it felt like it just everything about it, even the video, sort of felt like early metalcore, like early 2000 metalcore, just on like a higher budget and shot on HD cameras. Yeah, I mean, like it
Yeah.
just felt like it. It felt like I was listening to. In some cases, I had a burp that fuck it up. crept up on me. But no, in some cases it felt like listening to like Kill Switch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the riffs are very Kill Switchy. But I did like it. I did like it. I'll probably check out more In Flame stuff because honestly, up until you sent that in, never really paid him much attention.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I
I
definitely
didn't
recommend
really, I
listening to
never
them.
met anyone that like, were like, real. This isn't a diss. I'm just saying, just in general. But I never met anyone that was like, bro, you gotta listen to In Flames. Do you know what I mean? I never met anyone that said that made me want to check him out, which is why I don't think I paid that much of attention.
Yeah, yes, literally what I was thinking. Like again, like you said, there's no disrespect to In Flames. Statistically, I've just not really met that many people that have been like, "Oh, In Flames are my favorite band" or anything like that. But
Yeah,
I understand
like
why they're so popular now. Like, they are sort of masters of the craft, and they've sort of been in not only one but two very big areas of metal, like death metal, metalcore, and still managed to be one of the biggest bands of each. So I'm surprised that I haven't met any people that have, been properly into them. But yeah, I think this album finally is like kind of the one that would, I hope, please a lot of people, and sort of the mixture between the genres that they've managed to forge in.
yeah, I liked it. I did like it. Yeah, but you know what's
Sorry,
on
mate.
on fuck me, man. You gone proper red faced.
I know.
Um, no, yeah, I tell you what, tangent, but it's a funny thought that pops in. Whenever I hear In Flame, yeah, for some reason In Waves pops in my head.
I mean, it sounds
Like
almost the same, doesn't it?
yeah, like when you say In Flames, in the back of my head it just goes In Flames, In Flames. Like imagine just I mean, like if in some other reality we've got In Flames instead of In Waves. Yeah, it's just for some reason it's just a really stupid thing that's popping in my head whenever I hear the name.
Oh man. Anywho, so what's next on your list then?
My next one, my next one's a fan for the wrestling members of the audience. Because this one is Dead Body, the House of Black remix. Now, if you don't know about House of Black, wrestling group, Jason not Jason Brody King from fucking God's Hate is is a wrestler in that group, and this is their theme song. What a fucking banger of a song!
It
What a
sounds like a
banger of a
wrestling
song!
intro, actually. To be
Yeah,
fair.
mate. But that's the thing. It's written by Dead Body, right? Which is obviously Brody King is in God's Hate. The drummer of God's Hate is the vocalist and bassist of Dead Body, which is why it does also kind of sound like God's Hate. But mate, it's a fucking banger. Like it's just a solid death metal sort of track. Like, you know what I mean? But we're like, it's the hardcore kids do death metal.
Mm.
You know what I mean, like it is quintessential, but the fucking end breakdown in the song so fucking hard. Like it's dummy hard. Like
Yeah, man, for sure. I proper enjoyed it. Starts off with that proper stomper riff, and I like how the whole song is sort of built around that riff. Like, it's one of those songs like it remains throughout, and it becomes sort of mesmerizing in a way, and then it just morphs into different things. But yeah, it never loses its hardness, and absolutely love it. It's just raw energy throughout the entire track, and you can definitely tell the hardcore influence as well. But yeah, I've got no complaints about this. Also, one that I enjoyed from start to finish too.
oh, yeah, it's that bit. It was like, "Damn, fucking body." Oh,
Yeah, proper sing along one as well.
you know what I mean? It's just fucking. It's such a good song. Like, honestly, like fucking God's Hate, like Brody King and all that is secretly getting me massively into wrestling. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like now, I'm like, yeah, I want to watch this shit. Like they did something WWE never managed to do in my entire childhood, and now as an adult, I'm now like, yo, I'm fucking checking this out.
Yeah, I gotta say, if this was my intro theme, if this had started playing, I probably want to crack some skulls as well.
Exactly, it makes you in that mood, gets everyone. Also, imagine that in the arena. You know what I mean? Coming out,
Oh, yeah.
you're ready to see some chairs get smashed over heads, all that, and you hear this, you're like, I want to do it now. Get me in there. Like,
It makes a lot of sense that it's members of God's Hate, to be fair. I never really considered that, but then now that you've told me, I'm like, I get it. Because, obviously God's Hate is very riff heavy. And like this
yeah, so
song, the riff's so hard that they can use it over and over again. It never gets boring.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, like Dead Body, they're really fucking good. Like, I've been getting really into them recently from like watching like Hard Law because the drummer from God's Hate is also does vocals. I think someone else does vocals in it. I can't remember their name. But yeah, it's at his other band, but he's also in Twitching Tongues and he's also in God's Hate. He does a podcast with the guitarist Bo from Harm's Way and X Weapon X. And like, just watching the podcast, it's made me go, I'm gonna check out these bands more. And I checked them out, got me more into it, and I was like, what a machine the guy is, because he's in like 3 different bands and all of them go hard as fuck.
Yeah, no, very true. I enjoyed it a lot. Next for me is Cattle Decapitation, We Eat Our Young. This might be. I know there's one more coming that potentially could be my favorite of this month or even the year, but also this one is like they're sort of like neck and neck right now. But Cattle Decapitation, every time they do it, they just smash it right out the gate. There's something about that band. They've just got the mystery formula, and I feel like a lot of bands want to be Cattle Decap, and there's only one Cattle Decap, and that's them. Yeah, honestly, fucking fantastic throughout, smash you in the face. There's also like some really cool sections in between that have introduced some new elements as well. Like it felt a bit black metal-y with some tremolo picking in some of the sections, so it's like got the atmosphere there. But yeah, I mean, someone might have thought that it's hard to come back from the last album because I argue to say that's probably their best album. Just in terms of getting everything down right, you've got the riffs, you've got the vocals, the best that they've been. But yeah, Travis comes back this time, even better. So yeah, fucking love this track.
Oh yeah, I tell you what, it's the dying fetus effect. Like, you know what you're gonna get, and you're always blown away though. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, exactly when that Cow Decap comes out with a song, you know what it's gonna sound. Not that you know what it's gonna sound like, but it's gonna like this is gonna be fucking some heavy shit. Do you know what I mean? And you're never disappointed, but you're still always surprised. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I find so impressive about like Cattle Decap as well as like the older death metal bands, because it's like it must be so hard to go into a studio and go, right, let's write something that's still gonna blow people's fucking heads off. Do you know what I mean? After years of doing it, it's like at that point, what can you do? And you always listen to them, like they always go, you're always like, shit, this is fucking hard.
I know, I don't know how they manage to do it each time, but they do. It's like, hate to do another food analogy, but it's like, you go to a restaurant and you order the same thing each time because you know that it's good and you know that it's one of the best things there. And Cattle Decap are forever still one of the best death metal bands out. In terms of lyrical content, in terms of musicianship, in terms of like just creating like the most monstrous riffs possible. It's all there. They're just the goats, man.
No, underrated vocal technique, right?
Oh yeah.
Is his highs. His highs are under fucking rated. Like his lows are great, and I always hear people talk about his lows. But his fucking highs are so crisp. Do you know what I mean? Like, honestly. Like they're so clear. They're so fucking like gobbling it, and they sound fucking mad.
Absolutely, man. Like I completely agree there because his lows obviously are amazing, but his highs are so unique, and only he can do that. From what I've seen, like he's sort of made it into. I mean, you can sing with the high screams, and you know what to expect. I mean, black metal's been doing it for years, but like to do it like him when it almost sounds like a singing voice. I mean, I'm not a fucking vocal person, so I don't really know. But
a vocal person, I'm not a vocal person.
Yeah, well, that as well. But
here's my card, vocal person.
But yeah, I mean, his high screams. He's turned it into almost like a clean vocal singing, and it's so impressive. And each time he brings out a new song, it gets even better. So yeah, props to him. He's easily one of the most talented vocalist in our time.
Yeah, like I said, like, I remember when we saw him live at Bloodstock, and he was busting out the highs there, and I was saying to
sorry, mate,
another one. Another one.
Got some down my throat. Carry on.
But yeah, no, I was always saying like I said to you, didn't I? Where I was like, like Will Ramos gets a lot of like praise, right? Will Ramos gets a lot of praise, and he is a talented vocalist. But Travis is the OG. I didn't
Oh,
fuck
he
up
is
his
the
name,
guy.
did I?
No,
I
it's
didn't fuck
Travis.
up. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm so shit remembering people's names. But yeah, Travis is the fucking OG. Do you know what I mean? Like he was doing that shit well before Will Ramos was, and he was fucking honestly, it's like
And
do you know what I
even
mean?
better
Like he was
today.
the fucking OG of it, and he's even better now.
Too right, too right. What's last in your list then?
So my next one, again, this has been a very death metal heavy list, don't you think?
Yeah, it always.
Like, so it's just always, but
It's got to be a bit of death metal. This gets you through the month, doesn't it?
yeah, exactly. But my next one is Frozen Soul, Morbid Effigy. And what a fucking banger this was.
This
And
this is the
also
one
features
that
Dying Fetus.
exactly. It's 2 in 1. This one might be my favorite one of the month. It's either this or Cattle Decaf, my favorite songs of the year so far, and they've set the bar pretty fucking high. But yeah, carry on, go on.
Honestly, off the bat, just instant fucking beat down riff. And it just goes through all the way through. Where every riff's just like a proper like fucking bang your head, kick someone in the face, push someone, just fucking move sort of riff. Do you know what I mean? Like there's not a single riff where it's like that's not getting the pit going. Right? Do you know what I mean? Like it is full of those riffs. And then Dying Fetus just fucking comes in with another whammy as well. He just fucking goes off, fits the song really well and as a feature. But it just was so hard. It reminded me of like early Suffocation riffs.
Oh
Do you know what I
yeah,
mean? Like massively reminded me of early Suffocation riffs. It's just fucking it's a great song. And like from Frozen Soul, because before then they have been making bangers, but you're more like, like the trempicky, gloomy death metal. And it was still moshable and it was still like proper high energy. But this one just stepped it up like a different level. Do you know what I mean? To the other ones where it like had a different energy about it.
It's so interesting this song because like it's combining so many different styles together. Like you go through moments when you're like, oh, it sounds like a hardcore song, or oh, it sounds like a beatdown song. It sounds like early death metal. Even from like the opening start of the song, like you've got that sort of horror sounds. It sounds like a 80s thriller or something. And I love that because that reminds me of old death metal, stuff like Entombed and shit like that. But yeah, and then the beatdown comes in. You're like, oh, okay, this is like the modern fucking punch in your face beatdown shit. And I think it just proves like how Frozen Soul have so many different influences going in there. Like they're gonna go so far. Like they just got the formula down to a T, and I love it.
Oh yeah. This song and the Dead Body song are probably my two favorites so far from like this year.
Might be
and
Frozen Soul for me, yeah.
yeah, honestly, my two favorites so far because both of them like kind of like hit me the same way. Where it's like I just wanted to see it live. Do you know what I mean? I was like, I want to see this fucking.
No,
live.
we will see Frozen Soul this year if it don't pull out.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
On the Thursday as well, Bloodstock. I'm like, fucking come on, mate. I'm gonna have all my energy lost on the first day.
I know, mate. I hope it's not as hot as last year.
Me too.
So I actually want to enjoy bands rather than sweating my ass off.
Yeah, likewise, man. Hopefully Frozen Soul bring the cool. But yeah, honestly, such a track and a great feature as well. Started off the list of Dying Fetus and obviously they've
Circle back round.
Circle back round, yeah. So for my last pick, obviously got to give a shout out to the Scotch boy, Hell Ripper. Comes out with the song The Deceiver. Me. It's a great track, honestly. Like Hell Ripper, one of the few bands. I mean, no disrespect to thrash, all that style. It doesn't usually interest me that much anymore. I feel like a lot of bands might do the same things. Hell Ripper, though, when I listen to this song, it reminds me of just like that early style of heavy metal, but like still enjoyable. Like the feeling I got when I first listened to like heavy metal. It's got like the sort of folklore-esque lyrics to it. It just goes off. It goes hard. It's got some nice melodies in there. And it's also got like I think the best kind of thrash is with the blackened vocals. That's what interests me more, stuff like Toxic Holocaust. But yeah, I think Hell Ripper do it so well. One guy coming out with these monster riffs and still doing it better than like half the thrash bands around him. So yeah, honestly, I think this is a great track if you love heavy metal, and I think this again talking about influences, there's so much that goes into this. You can see like the British New Wave, you can see black metal, and you can see thrash as well. And so I think he's combined all the best elements to keep it interesting. And there's like a nice tempo changes, and I don't like that style when it's just all the way through, just like it's not like that with this. And it picks up the pace, slows it down, and yeah, he's just master of the craft. Love it.
100%. I agree with you there because, like, it gave me like traditional black metal vibes, but not so. It's like because I'm not gonna lie, I love black metal, but sometimes when it's like the traditional shit, I find it really hard to like finish a song because how much trem picking and like blasted beats and high squeals high screams can I sit through now, and it's a low bar like because like that once you've heard it a few times, you've heard it from every other band, but like you always find something new to sort of keep your attention. Yeah, I mean, like we'll go into like a complete tempo shift or groovier section, and it would just be more refreshing to hear and keep you entertained, and not only like gauge your attention for longer.
Yep.
So yeah, that I really like the track.
Absolutely, yeah. No, honestly, great musician. Honestly, like every time he smashes it out of the park. I really enjoyed this again. It just gave me that sort of old school metal vibe. But still just kind of bringing me back into it, and I love that. But yeah, that's been our Fed bangers. Let us know in the comments what your favorite songs were. Again, it's been a heavy month. There's still a lot of tracks that I would have picked from it. To be fair, obviously, I've got to give a shout out to Sanguisuga Bob. Like, they released an album that was
Banger of
fantastic.
an album.
Yeah, banger all the way through. The only reason why I didn't include them is because we included them last time. Otherwise, this be a Sanguisuga Bob too heavy episode. But yeah, great. It's a great album. There's been tons of great tracks this month, last month, and I can't wait to see what's going to come out this month as well.
Definitely. I agree. Sanguisuga Bogs was a really good banger, but we did also stand them way too much on that list.
So if you're watching Sanguisuga Bob, we definitely stand in the last one. Don't worry about it. But yeah, thank you for watching. Don't forget to give us a like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. If you listen on streaming services, don't forget to leave us a rating. That really helps. And yeah, follow us on social media. Everything is Headbangers Podcast except for Twitter, which is Headbangers Pod 1. And yeah, let us know what you thought, and we'll catch you next vid.